up, guys? So, chapter 4 is his invention factory, but I have something to say. Since these chapters are so long, actually, what do you think, Mom? Do you think we should just do do you think I should just read it like I normally do? Because that's what I normally do in my videos.
Why don't you do 6 and then see if you feel like continuing after 6, or if you want to wrap it up and do part 2.
Alright, well, there is only 13 pages, so let me try it at least.
Okay.
Let me see if it'll work. Actually, let me count again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yep, I think I'll be able to do it. Let me just try it though. In the mid-1800s, a man in France and a man in Massachusetts both came up with ways to record sound, but as a pattern on paper, much the way the dots and dashes of Morse code look on paper. Nobody had figured out how to record sounds and play them back so they could be heard again. That's what Tom wanted to do. He had an idea, but he didn't know if it would work. He had drawn some rough sketches. That was all. For 8 months, Tom and his team kept working on his idea for a phonograph. They were working on other inventions too. They were not in a big hurry, but then an article appeared in an important magazine, Scientific American. It said that Thomas Edison had invented an amazing machine. It played the human voice, a wonderful invention that they announced with great fanfare. Tom knew that everyone would be asking to hear his amazing phonograph. Scientific American, Edison.
Can I pause for a sec?
What?
Lily's ball went underneath the couch.
What's up, guys? So unfortunately we had to move to the spare room because my dogs were being super loud. They're just crazy. Anyway, so we already did those pages, and now we're on to the second page. Now, Tom, it was in a big hurry, had someone at Menlo Park told a reporter about what Tom was working on. Maybe Tom didn't mind. Maybe he even knew who had told the magazine about the phonograph. He liked publicity. But now he had to make his phonograph, and soon. It was November 1877. Tom sat down and did another rough sketch. He gave it to his best mechanist. Anyone else might look at his drawing and wonder how to follow it. But this mechanic was used to Tom's sketches. A week later, he came back with a model. Sorry, hold on. Photograph. Lily, get out. Sorry, folks. The model had a long screw with a handle at one end. The screw ran through the middle of the metal cylinder wrapped in tinfoil. On either side of the cylinder was a metal disc with a pin and a short hollow tube. Tom leaned towards the machine, turned the handle, and spoke into one of the tubes as the cylinder moved along the screw. Mary had a little lamb. Its fleece was white as snow, and everywhere that Mary went, the lamb was sure to go. Sometimes voice made the bell disc with the pin vibrate and scratch a sound pattern of the tinfoil. When he stopped speaking, Tom pulled the pin away from the cylinder. He turned the handle in the opposite direction and moved the cylinder back to where it had been. He put the pin on the other side against the cylinder. How the phonograph works. To record sound, enters horn, vibrates a diaphragm with a needle that causes indentations on a turning cylinder covered with tinfoil. To play back the indentations on the cylinder, vibrate a needle and a diaphragm on the opposite side of sound exist horn. Now was the big moment. Tom had turned the handle again. The cylinder moved along the screw, and out came his voice speaking the lines of the familiar nursery rhyme. Tom was almost as surprised as everyone else. He could hardly believe that his phonograph worked the very first time. Tom went to the office of the Scientific American to play his wonderful phonograph. The excited editors crowded around. Wow, they had never seen or heard anything like it. In April 1878, Tom traveled to Washington, D.C. There he spoke to a National Academy of Sciences about his invention. He also had his photograph taken by Matthew Brady, the famous Civil War photographer. Matthew Brady studied photography in New York City. Photography in New York City. Linder Samuel Morse, the inventor of the telegraph, he photographed lots of famous Americans, including Abraham Lincoln. He took one picture right before Lincoln became president. It took Brady about 15 seconds to take the photograph. Lincoln had to wear a clamp to hold his head perfectly still. Otherwise, the photo would look blurry. The Civil War Brady was the first photographer to take pictures of battlefields. After a long day of meetings and receptions, President Rutherford B. Hayes asked Tom to come to the White House. It was 11 o'clock at night by the time he got there. The president was so impressed with Tom's photograph that he made Mrs. Hayes get out of bed to hear it. At first, Tom thought companies would use his photograph in business. He saw it a kind of distracting machine for writing letters. Businesses did use it. It was called the edison. But during his lifetime, Tom saw his photographs. Really, I'll read it. Popularity grows in ways he had expected. There was a big demand for music. Concert halls, as in penny arcades, for 5 cents. Several people could listen to a song at the same time. Soon people wanted their own photographs at home. Listening tubes. Years later, Tom wrote an article about all the ways the phonograph might be used in one day. He saw far into the future. He even predicted auto tapes. He called them talking books. Tom was always working on more than one idea at a time. Perhaps he didn't pay as close attention to his phonograph as he should have. His company, the Edison Speaking Phonograph Company in New York City, made and sold phonographs using his own cylinders, but other companies went on to develop a more popular machine. It used flat discs called records. Tom was only 13 years old when he invented this photograph. At that young age, he became known as the Wizard of Menlo Park. The Wizard of Menlo Park. You see?
Mm.
The photograph may have been Tom's baby as favorite, but it was the next invention that made him far more famous. Tom was about to work on something that would change the way people's life forever. Chapter 5 is Turned on Light. Thank you for watching this video. This is Owen signing off.